Creatine is being sold like a universal operating system update. Muscles, brain, aging, mood, recovery, maybe hair. If someone asks me, should basically everyone take it? What is the evidence-compressed answer before we get lost in hype?
The clean answer is creatine helps refill the fastest energy battery in muscle. Your cells use ATP for contraction. During short, hard efforts, phosphocreatine donates a phosphate to rebuild ATP quickly. That does not turn a casual walk into a superpower. It helps when energy demand spikes again and again. That mechanism explains why the best supported outcomes are repeated high-intensity capacity, strength, and lean mass gains when creatine is paired with resistance or power training. It is not that creatine directly builds muscle in isolation. It can help you do a little more quality work, and training converts that work into adaptation.
So if someone has a tub in the kitchen, what should they expect to notice? Are we talking obvious gym transformation? Or more like a few extra reps that matter only if they are already tracking workouts?
Usually the honest signal is modest but useful. Better performance across repeated sets, sprints, or heavy efforts, plus lean mass support over weeks to months. In a 2026 meta-analysis of postmenopausal women, creatine favored lean mass by about 0.37 kilograms and leg press strength by about 7.5 kilograms, mainly when at least 5 grams per day was combined with resistance training. The best fit user is someone doing resistance training, repeated sprints, sport intervals, or older adult strength work. Baseline matters too. People who eat little or no meat may start with lower creatine stores, so supplementation can move the needle more. But sedentary use alone should have humbler expectations.
The supplement aisle makes creatine look complicated. Monohydrate, gummies, hydrochloride, nitrate, loading phases, timing hacks. If the goal is evidence instead of marketing, what form and dose should people actually understand?
Creatine monohydrate is the default because it is the form most studied and usually cheapest. Common maintenance dosing is 3 to 5 grams daily, or about 0.1 grams per kilogram per day. Loading can saturate muscle faster, but it is not required. Daily consistency gets you there more gradually. Food context is simple. Meat and fish provide creatine. Plants essentially do not. That is why vegetarian or low-meat patterns matter. For products, the bigger issue is quality control, not exotic chemistry. Athletes, especially tested athletes, should prefer third-party certified products because supplement contamination is a real career and health risk.
Now, the newer claim. Your brain needs creatine. That sounds biologically plausible because the brain is energy hungry. But is there human evidence that ordinary, well-rested people become sharper? Or is the better case stress states like sleep loss?
That is the right gate. Brain creatine biology is real, and reviews describe plausible roles in energy metabolism. But human performance claims are most convincing in narrower conditions: sleep deprivation, possibly high cognitive stress, aging, low dietary creatine, or clinical contexts. A 2026 sleep deprivation trial found a single 0.2 gram per kilogram dose reduced deterioration on several cognitive tasks. Not that creatine is a daily genius pill.
What about the cluster of claims that sound medical? Recovery, injury prevention, concussion protection, mood, cancer rehab. Are those ready for everyday promises, or should they sit in a different evidence bucket?
Different bucket. The ISSN review discusses promising areas like recovery, rehabilitation, thermoregulation, and neuroprotection. But mechanisms and biomarkers are not the same as proven clinical outcomes. For example, a 2026 colorectal cancer pilot found resistance training with creatine was feasible and well tolerated, but creatine did not show clear additive effects in that small trial. The most common early side effect is not fat gain. It is scale weight from water stored with creatine in muscle. That can be useful for training but annoying if someone is watching weight class limits or dieting psychology. If the scale rises quickly while waste and food intake are stable, do not automatically call it fat.
The fear that never dies is kidneys. People hear creatine becomes creatinine, then assume kidney damage. How do we separate a lab interpretation issue from actual harm? And who should not self-experiment?
In healthy adults, recommended doses have a strong safety record, and trials commonly show no meaningful renal index harm. But anyone with kidney disease, unexplained abnormal kidney labs, complex medical conditions, pregnancy questions, or multiple medications should ask a clinician first. Also tell clinicians you take creatine, because creatinine-based kidney estimates may need context. Two other myths deserve proportion. Creatine is not an anabolic steroid, and evidence does not show it reliably causes dehydration, cramping, or baldness. Hair loss fear mostly comes from a thin, DHT-related hypothesis, not consistent baldness outcomes. Still, if a symptom clearly starts after supplementation and stops when you stop, that personal signal matters.
So the decision rule is not everyone must take it. It is, if you train hard, want modest performance support, eat little creatine from food, or are discussing an aging or clinical use with a professional, monohydrate is a reasonable evidence-backed candidate. Track training, body weight context, and labs honestly.